Welcome in to Chic and Ball. I'm your host, ElzdaTruph. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching. On today's show, we look back at the 2024 season for the Chicago Sky. A lot of ups, a lot of downs, but I want to start by talking about how Coach Spoon got screwed out of her job. T-Spoon was what all players wanted. A player's coach that's going to look out for you, tell you what you want to hear rather than what you like to hear. A very old school kind of coach, high IQ basketball player. She loved the defensive end, she loved passing, and those kind of things you would want instilled into your players so they ain't out there just playing like idiots. And it looked like she had a good grip on the team. All the players were distraught when they heard she got let go. The only flaws that I would say I saw in her coaching, number one, she was way too buddy-buddy with the players. She kind of let Angel Reese do what she wanted to do and seemed more like a friend and a mom rather than a coach. Number two, it almost seemed like it was kind of like a rock star locker room. She had celebrities coming in to meet the players, and it's like, why you got celebrities coming in to meet the players when the team is trash right now? Number three, she didn't define a starting lineup or a second unit. There was players coming in the lineup and out the lineup all year, and nobody really got consistent minutes. And trust me, I'm aware of all the injuries, but there should have at least been a 5-player rotation that we know these players gonna play and they gonna try to get it done. On top of that, the team finished with a record of 13-27. They were 11th in offense and only scored 77 points a game. The defense was pretty good, but I think if the offense showed a little bit more improvement over the year, results might have been a little bit different for Coach. Nevertheless, 1 year ain't enough time to do nothing. You can't build no relationship in no year. You can't build a team or culture in a year. So either they just didn't like her from the get-go or something soured during the season.
We can do much better. We can't be beat backdoor. We got to be aware of their movements, and then we got to be there to help if we get beat. It's plain and simple. We got to be better. Got to be better.
Now, I want to talk about the players. And we're going to talk about every player that's suited up in the Chicago Sky uniform, starting with Kaela Davis. We always loved the second-generation players. Her dad, Antonio Davis, former NBA All-Star, had a 13-year NBA career. For Kaela, former first-round pick out of South Carolina, only appeared in 4 games for Chicago, so not much of a chance to show anything, but hoping we can see her again in the league with all the new teams coming. Now let's talk about Kysre Gondrezick. I was really excited to see her get this roster spot. She hadn't played in the WNBA since 2021. And she just never really got a chance to show anything. She only appeared in 5 games for the Sky, but it was almost like she didn't appear in any of those games because she only got 3 minutes a game. I don't know who can show anything in 3 minutes. It's almost like a slap in the face. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't even think she wanna play basketball no more. We might have seen the last of her in the WNBA. I hope I'm wrong, but that's just my gut feeling. Now let's briefly talk about Elizabeth Williams. She was playing really well for the Chicago Sky before she went down with injury. She actually held down the fort while Kamilla Cardoso was coming back from injury. Then she got injured, and that's when Kamilla Cardoso came back. But she started in 9 games for the Sky, averaged 10 points and almost 2 steals and 2 blocks. Former 2-time All-Defensive player, probably on the way to her 3rd one if she hadn't got hurt. But she signed an extension with the team in September of 2024, so she'll be back next year. Now let's talk about Moriah Jefferson. I'm sorry to say, but Mo probably had the worst season of her career. I don't think she was fully healthy, and it definitely showed out there on the court. She only shot 11% from the field and 10% from 3. Now she only appeared in 14 games for the Chicago Sky. She also played 9 games for the Connecticut Sun. She came over in that trade that included Marina Mabrey, but I don't know, maybe she just wasn't happy because she just didn't have no rhythm. Didn't even average a point for the Sky in those 14 games. I think she can bounce back from this, but it damn sure ain't gonna be in Chicago. Now let's talk about Rachel Banham. She also came over in the Marina Mabrey trade, and I think she played decent for the Chicago Sky. Didn't have her best shooting games here, and that seemed to be a recurring theme with the players if you haven't noticed yet. I don't know if we can blame the coach or the players, but I digress. Rachel Banham shot 34% from the field, which is not good for a pro, but she's here for her 3-point shooting, and she was great in that area at 38%. But you gotta mix it up and add a little more. You can't be that lopsided in percentages. Your field goal percentage should never be lower than your 3-point percentage. If it is, that means you just take bad shots and can't finish nothing through contact. She appeared in 16 games for the Sky, started in 9, and Rachel Banham is such a great 3-point shooter, she'll be back on the team next year for sure. Now let's talk about Breezy, Brianna Turner. In her first year in Chicago, I really liked her veteran presence. She was there helping getting Angel ready, helping getting Kamilla ready. She didn't pout because the rookies was in front of her. She was more like an assistant coach to T Spoon. I think it was a good pickup in hindsight because I ain't gonna lie, I was hating on her at first because she came over in the Kaela Copper trade, but they ended up flipping that into Kamilla Cardoso and a first-round pick into 2026. So I'll take Breezy, Kamilla, and that first rounder. That was a pretty good deal. Breezy shot 61% from the field, by far the best on the team in 2024. She's a 2-time all-defensive first-teamer, so you know that's a luxury to have coming off your bench. She appeared in 27 games for the Sky and started in 2. Now let's talk about Isabelle Harrison. Izzy made the team after missing all of 2023 with a knee injury, and she has missed 3 seasons due to illness or injury since she got drafted back in 2015. Before we talk about Izzy, if you didn't know, her dad, Dennis Harrison, from my hometown, Cleveland, Ohio, was a 10-year NFL veteran. He played 7 years for the Eagles, 2 years for the Atlanta Falcons, then he played some games for the 49ers and the Rams, so interesting little nugget for you guys. Now let's talk about Izzy. I think she had an okay season. I did not like seeing her in that knee brace because that take away from your speed and lateral quickness, but she shot 40% from the field, averaged 6 points for the Sky, and she started to extend her range a little bit, shooting the most threes that she ever shot in her career. She played in 36 games for the Sky, started in 5, but I think she did more than enough to at least get another shot at making this roster. She had really good chemistry with Angel and Kamilla, and if you can't get nobody better, then you should keep her because she's a damn good player. Now let's talk about Diamond DeShields. Now before we get started on Diamond, let me just say, it's a blessing for this woman to be playing any kind of basketball after the things she's been through. I'ma always praise her for her mental health and strength. The fact that she even got back to this level is a blessing. She missed all of 2023, but came back to Chicago in 2024. Now let's talk about the play on the court. She appeared in 32 games, started in 10, and this was by far Diamond's worst season in the WNBA. She shot a career low 34% from the field, 17% from 3, and even her free throw percentage was down to 61%. She averaged a career low 4 points and a career low 13 minutes per game. Now, she was in and out of games because she was getting nicked up all the time, but she needed to be looking to have a bounce back year. A very talented player. We just gotta hope that one day she can get all the way healthy. Now let's talk about Lindsay Allen. She had a pretty decent year considering she started out as a reserve, then was put into the starting lineup after 12 games. She was the only player from this Sky team that appeared in all 40 games. She played point guard pretty well, didn't turn the ball over a lot. She shot 46% from the field, and she understood the assignment. Get the ball to the bigs and get out the way. The problem is, in my opinion, she didn't stretch the floor enough to warrant being a starter. She shot 29% from 3, and that just gives the defense more reason to double down on Angel, Reese, and Kamilla Cardoso. I think she's definitely an asset to a team, but she don't need to be starting if she can't spread the floor. Now let's talk about Michaela Onyenwere. She played in 34 games for the Sky, started in 18. That being said, she averaged just 6 points, and she's another player who I felt like just didn't get enough time on the court to get a rhythm, only 18 minutes per game. I don't know how this team expected to win with the way the minutes were given out. When the team is losing, you need to have a go-to five, preferably your starters, but this team didn't have that. Only Marina Mabrey and Reese averaged more than 30 minutes and started every game they were eligible. But let me get back to Michaela. I think her season was pretty good again, but she also doesn't add enough on offense to be a starter. She's definitely a WNBA player, but she's had several chances to be a starter and it hasn't worked out in any spots, so I would definitely want her back on the team, just not in the starting lineup. Now let's talk about Dana Evans. She didn't start the season off well and was sent to the bench after 12 games, but Dana Evans shot the three ball well this year. She shot it at 37%, which is really good. She's automatic from the free throw line, 96% in 2024, but inside the free throw line is where she has some trouble. She really need to start working on that floater. I'm talking about all off season, cause she get to her spots, but her shots don't go in all the time. 37% from the field overall, and as I said earlier, your field goal percentage should not be lower or the same as your 3-point percentage. Before she got moved to the bench though, she was averaging 10 points, 4 assists, and a steal, which is better numbers than what Lindsay Allen gave the team all year, so I know she had some ups and downs, but I didn't like that she didn't get a real chance to start for a full season, especially since she's been here way longer than Lindsay Allen. And I don't think she played so bad that she should have been pulled from the starting lineup. I would definitely love to have Dana back on this team. I think she's tough. She just need to get some consistent playing time. Outside of 6 games with the Dallas Wings, she played her entire career in Chicago, including winning a championship with them in 2021. I'm looking for her to get a fresh start somewhere else in 2025 though. I don't think she's coming back. Now let's talk about Marina Mabrey. I think Marina played up and down for Chicago in 2024. She shot a career low 38% from the field. Quite honestly, I don't think she fit in with the whole Reese media circuit. She's been in the league for a while, and I know she was just tired of losing, so she requested a trade and they granted her wish. But be careful what you wish for, because although she did go to a winning team with the Connecticut Sun, she was also moved to the bench. But while she was a member of the Chicago Sky, she gave the Sky 14 points a game, led the team in scoring and assists, and the team was 10-14 in the games that she played, so that means they only won 3 games after she was traded. And that shows you how valuable she was to this team, and that's why they got back 2 first-round picks for her. Hopefully they can flip them into 2 more All-Stars. Now let's talk about Chennedy Carter. After not playing in 2023, she came back to the WNBA with a vengeance in 2024. She shot a career high 49% from the field, averaged 17.5 points, 3 assists, and a steal. Probably one of the fastest players with the ball in their hand in the WNBA. I thought her chemistry with Kamilla was better than the chemistry between any 2 players on this team. The problem with this roster though, despite how good Chennedy is, she also don't spread the floor enough to stop the double teams from hitting Kamilla and Angel. As much as people hate on Angel post game, they still gonna send a double team when the guards can't shoot. That being said, despite her lack of 3-point shooting, the Sky can't afford to lose those 17 points per game. They gotta bring her back some way somehow. She appeared in 33 games for the Sky, started in 20, and I guess we'll see what happens next season. Now let's talk about Kamilla Cardoso. Now, everybody was a little upset when we heard the news that Kamilla was going to be out at the start of the season. Fortunately, she only had to miss 8 games, and she came out as one of the best rookies out of that 2024 draft. She averaged 10 points, 8 rebounds, and a block, and I think she could have done a lot better if she had got more minutes. I'm not sure why she didn't get more minutes, because all she had was a shoulder injury, so there was no reason for her to be on no kind of minute restriction. You usually see that when you got lower leg injuries or something, but Either way, she shot 52% from the field, which is great for a rookie. A lot of people don't think the Twin Towers can work, but I think it can. If you get the right system built around them, they can both pass and make plays. Let Angel set up Kamilla sometimes, let Kamilla set up Angel, keep the ball moving, let them both touch it. As long as they both can feel involved and they win, then this duo can be dynamic. We always want to break players up. This team didn't lose games because of those two players in the front court. Kamilla showed up and showed out, and she only gonna get better, and they only gonna develop more chemistry together. Hopefully next year she get more than 7 shots a game, and we can see that national championship Kamilla. Now let's talk about Angel Reese. I think Angel Reese had a great year. She was under a major spotlight and she performed. Now, she only shot 39% from the field while averaging 13 points and 13 rebounds. She started to really come on strong in her final 3 games of the year, where she averaged 17 points, 16 rebounds on 44% shooting. I know we're gonna get the rebounds, but if she can keep up that scoring and efficiency, 17 points on 44% shooting, this team will be in position to win a lot of games. She also making her free throws now. 73% was higher than she shot at Maryland and LSU combined. I said it before and I'll say it again, she is one player who I'm always gonna ride with. I got all the faith in the world that she gonna come back better than ever, like she's done every year since her freshman year. And you flat out looking at one of the best leaders in sports, and I think she gonna continue to do that for years to come. But there you have it, our review of the Chicago Sky's 2024 season. If you made it this far in the show, please hit that like button. If you feel so compelled, please leave a comment. Even if you don't feel compelled, it would be nice to hear from you. That's all I'm gonna say on this podcast. As I always say, I appreciate you guys for listening and watching. I'm Els for PRNM. Talk to you on the next one.